Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Art of Awesomeness podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Kiswani, accompanied today by your also host, Christian Caito. Welcome, Christian.
Woo! Season
Cut out
3.
again.
Woo!
Okay, that was better.
Woo!
Season 3, people. We made it.
Season 3.
We're out of season 2 and now in season 3.
So we
And this
got a new
is.
look. We are officially only on Zoom now.
That'd be so sad if that were true. Just like.
Yeah, so we can go all around the world and still produce episodes for you guys. You guys spoke, and this is what you guys wanted. So we are now officially on Zoom. So,
All right. Well, don't worry. That's not true. Yeah, season 3. This is going to take us into January, dude. So we got quite a lot of time with this season.
It's gonna be a great season, guys. We got a lot of episodes coming up in the holidays too.
I don't know.
And
I wish I knew.
And yeah, so we got the holidays going, and we got Adrian's door banging, and now we got season 3.
And we, of course, have our first order of business, the national days. National. Okay.
Can you hear that? Is it
Yeah, I
cut out?
can. No, I can hear it.
Okay, let's go.
It's like a radio host.
Let's go. National days. August 15th.
National Leathercraft Day, National Relaxation Day, and National I don't even know how to say meringue. Or is it a weird French word or something? I always get confused with that.
Yeah, obviously
Pie Day.
everybody knows what it is. It's a dessert.
Never had it, but hey, if you like it, then today's the day to eat it, because meringue pie. Interesting. And then National Relaxation Day, I guess if you just want to relax, just
relax, listen to our show.
Do your thing, It's a Sunday, so
get it popping. So let's do it. Adrian, what's going on today?
Today we have a recommendation from our publicist Sophie, who was adamant on us doing a episode on the qualities of a good friend. We already kind of delved into this somewhat in our episode, I think, kind of going into what it was like being friends for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we did touch upon a lot of these topics then, but this is more specifically the qualities, I guess, that you would look for in a friend. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily specific to our friendship, but just overall friendships, what to look for.
With inspiration.
Yeah, obviously. Of course, yeah.
With inspiration. So yes, that's a good topic. The components of a delicious friendship. So what are we thinking? How are we kicking it off?
I'm thinking we just basically run through our points and then give feedback on the other's points. So the first one that came to mind when I thought of a quality trait of a good friend would just be trustworthiness right off the bat. I feel like that's kind of a base standard point for friendships, right? Is that you have a trust of the individual, you trust the person, and that trust weaves its way into having that, I guess, closer connection than you would with other people that are just maybe acquaintances in your life or peers.
Yeah, come on, guys, you can't be friends with someone that you don't trust.
Right. So, I think that trustworthy was the first one that came to mind. And I don't know if that's maybe the most important one, but I think if you were to rank the most important qualities, that would be up there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the core, it's like one of the core things, like the key, one of like the core things when it comes to a friendship.
Yeah.
Imagine being friends with someone that you don't trust, that you think is just going to kill you when you turn your back.
Yeah, that just kind of seems like an impossible thing to hold someone and say, yeah, this is my friend, and then not trust them at all. I can't even picture doing that,
You guys, if you guys have one of those friendships. And I can't imagine a friendship like that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't
know. Number 1 on top 10.
On 60 minutes with Christian Caito.
60 minutes, 10 points. Let's go. Number 1 is trust. Gotta have trust.
Yeah, trustworthiness, I would say, is probably one of the most important. And so did you make yours kind of like points, or do you just have...
I have some on my Google Keep, on my Google Notes. So the first one, I like to get these out of the way, the kind of like lukewarm ones a little bit, like warming up to like the bigger ones. So the first one, you gotta have fun with them.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. there are people that you'll know and you can say you're friends, but I think the the real quality of like a true friendship,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, oh maybe I shouldn't say fun, or it's just you guys can really, you guys know, can have like a good time together and you guys can like pass the time doing something that you
Well,
guys
yeah, that's definitely
both
part of
enjoy.
a
Because I
friendship,
think
right?
that's a great, yeah, that's a great way to like bond with the other person. That's a great way to connect with them and figure out what they like.
Yeah.
And they're just, if you can't have fun with them,
It's
because
kind
I
of like, what's
can't
the
think
point
like,
almost?
yeah, like I mean, like
Like,
I think,
imagine if we didn't have fun doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's, that'd
well
be so hard to do.
I think of like Nick and Lucas and all of our like really, even like Sophie and our really close friends,
Yeah.
like all the times when we do like Scribble.io or went on walks or like just went over to each other's homes and watched
Yeah.
like movies and pizza and ate up on a bunch of junk food. And yeah, all those times, all the ones that like really lasted are the ones that, you know, we always had, like you always have such a good time with. Or when you're bored, you can just call them and be like, hey,
Yeah.
want to come over and, you know, hang out and do something. So that's the first thing. It doesn't, I don't know why the F word is kind of bad, but I wouldn't
Well,
say
I don't think it's,
fun.
I think
It's not
it's,
bad, but I don't
no,
think it's. If I don't think fun is the word, I think
I know what
you
you
have to
mean.
be able to. You have to be able to. It shouldn't be difficult to find ways to pass time and enjoy it with them.
Yeah, I agree. And I think kind of the other side of that is also, kind of
Hmm.
to your point of fun,
Hmm.
being able to have a friend where they're still your friend when things aren't fun is like that's a true test of friendship right there, I think.
Okay. Well,
You
we're moving
know?
on to the big one.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, I'm just saying that kind of
Yes.
made me think
Okay.
of that one of where,
Ooh.
if you have a friend who you can hang out with and pass the time with easily, it's not a very difficult thing. If you're a sociable enough person, it's not a very difficult thing to pass time with someone.
Hmm.
But if you can still remain friends and pick each other up when, circumstances aren't really that great, then I think that's another good sign of a good quality of a good friend is that they're able to either lighten the mood or match the mood of whatever's going on so that you two can still either enjoy or just kind of tolerate life together and kind of bounce off of each other as a support system of sorts.
Hmm.
So
That's the process.
yeah, I think that the way you weed out certain friends is to see how people react when things aren't in ideal circumstances, right?
Hmm.
Because when everything's ideal, it's very easy for those things to go right. But the moment something goes wrong, you can kind of quickly see, oh, okay, who immediately did we just not talk to at all
Hmm.
for months or something? It's like that I don't know. Is that a friend if you haven't spoken to them in that long? Or is it?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you hate the person or anything, but I mean, is it a close friend of yours?
Hmm.
So
Oh, into the deep. Okay, I guess we're not
well,
going lukewarm. We're going
you
full
can.
boil. Let's do
I
this.
mean, you can go lukewarm if you want, but my points were
You're
more
right.
just kind of the big ones. I think.
The big. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have like the straight to the punch kind of punchlines of points.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's true, Adrian. I do think I do agree that you have to not only have trust, he says big one,
Mhm.
but having the ability to. I think just finding people that are on the same frequency as you. Uh,
Yeah.
I was just talking to one of my friends about this, and you'll know. And this isn't really one of those things that this is more rare than just having just close friends in general. But there are people that I know like with you or with just with you and like maybe like one or two other people where I have other close friends that
Mhm.
we know we both know, but
Right.
there's like a few where we like really click because like we're on like kind of like the same frequency.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is like we like just the way we approach certain things in
Mhm.
life and the way we think about some things and going about like issues and uh, just in like interests we like we're the same but not the same, like same but not the same.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, well, for me and you, we definitely have different personalities, but I think that those personalities don't conflict with each other. I think that they actually bounce off one another really well,
Hmm.
you know? So, like, if you're going a little bit too eccentric, I can pull you back. If I'm too reserved, you can kind of like bring me out into the open kind of a deal. Like, it's it's a dynamic where maybe your personalities aren't 100%, but the frequency that you're on, like you said, kind of matches, so that you kind of fill in for their weaknesses and they fill in for yours. So in the
Yeah.
areas of your life where you might not be the strongest person, they might have that really like well figured out, and then they feed some of that to you. You feed some of
Yeah,
your
it's like you
benefits
guys
to them.
bounce off each other, right?
Yeah, and I think that's maybe what you mean with the frequency thing. I don't know if
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
that's
that's the thing
accurate.
too. I guess that's not a point that I guess what we're talking about in this episode is components when it comes to assessing if you guys have a quality. I mean, there's people, so don't get me wrong. Like when I talk about like frequency, don't let that throw you off. I mean, frequency when I'm talking about like just those super rare instances where you find one person, even if you're not even that close. It makes it better if you guys are close friends, where you guys just happen to every time you guys talk or every time you guys talk about a certain thing, you guys always just kind of like think like very similarly about how to approach it, and
Yeah.
that's kind of different sometimes. You can have really close friends too, and we like not really see eye to eye like all the time, or so that's kind of the line I draw between like frequency friends, like where you guys, I'm sure people listening to this right now, you guys know if at least hopefully like you have at least one person that you just always like on sync with, and there's other people that you can be like even closer with but they just don't.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's not,
almost kind of
yeah.
like that what is it? That kind of finish each other's sentences thing. I think it kind of has that same philosophy toward it, where
Mhm.
maybe you're not thinking the same thing all the time, but there are a lot of moments where you two are just on the same page,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where it's like someone's thinking something and the other one's like, yeah, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, and then there's that instant connection there because it's you're getting two people who are like-minded, and that
Hmm.
helps in a friendship because if you're like-minded and you have, well, kind of on to my next point, like similar interests, it
Yeah.
it's a beneficial thing, right? To have
Hmm.
a lot of those common interests, like especially when we first met, one of those biggest interests I think was film, right? That was a
Yeah,
big
especially
connecting
the classes
factor.
we took.
Yeah, yeah, and especially in high school and so forth, and then obviously making a YouTube channel and all that
Hmm.
good stuff. But I like, for example, that was just one of them, and obviously the connections that you make with your friends might be, you have a favorite book series that you both really like, and that's like
Hmm.
start point, right? And then
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah,
branches
that's a
off
good
from
word.
there.
That's a good way to use it. Starting point is a good way to use it. I guess you could kind of go into both, like determining if you see. Now I'm thinking about like what does it take to make a good friendship versus already determining if. So I guess we can go back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I see what you mean,
Yeah,
but
I was thinking about that. I
yeah.
was like the points I had, it was kind of mixed up, but yeah.
Well, I mean, either way, a good point's a good point. So, I mean, it can't be detrimental if we say, something that's true. But
Mhm,
yeah,
man.
yeah, for sure.
that, but no, but one point that you said that I really liked was you talking about how you guys build on each other, right?
Yeah.
And I was just listening to I have this app now where it reads through like certain scriptures, and how a part of the Bible talks about it's better to when it talks about coming in pairs when it comes to talking about attacking other problems, how it's better to approach it in pairs than alone, because with pairs you'll be like successful versus alone, like um, you will
Yeah.
surely whatever the you know what I'm talking about, but it
Yeah,
was
I know what you mean.
talking about the power. I think it was just like referencing a little bit towards like brotherhood and like people knowing who's sticking close to you during trials and tribulation. Um, but yeah, I'm going off topic. But what you said about building off of each other, I think one of a really important part of having a at least like a solid friendship is at least one thing you can know to determine who's like a really quality friend is that they always. Oh my god! Now I'm thinking like other sub branches going on in my head. The first point,
Write it down, write it down.
the first point is you can know who's a good friend, and you know like what to keep when you guys kind of build off each other, like what you said.
Mhm.
And then another thing that I think you mentioned a little bit was when uh, is when like you know a good friend when they don't always tell you what you want to hear, right? That's like a
That's actually, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really good point because I think that kind of goes back to that point of, where you are maybe weak, they're strong, and so they can kind of feed some of their strength to you. and
Yeah.
their counsel and advice. Like having a friend who's also kind of like a counselor and advisor, where you kind of counsel and advise one another in life and
Hmm.
in decisions and stuff. That's
Yeah.
really helpful because if they're trustworthy, then you know it's an opinion you can trust. And if you have similar interests, you know that they're working towards your common interest, right? So
Hmm.
any advice they give you, you know it's coming from the right place with good intentions and so forth. So yeah, having someone who can tell you how it
Yeah.
is, even if it's maybe not what you want to hear at the moment,
Hmm.
is good because you know that that person is telling you that thing out of care for you. So you know it's not like a, hey, why are you saying this to me? I don't want to hear this right now. You like
Hmm.
you might feel that way, but you know that the friend isn't like attacking you. You know, it's not that's
Yeah.
not what it is. It's a friendship. It's a friendly act, but
Yeah.
some people, I feel some people need that sometimes,
Yeah.
and they just don't have it because they might be surrounded by yes men or something where people just always agree with what they say.
Hmm.
And that might be a nice feeling, but then when you mess up, everyone's kind of afraid to tell you that you messed up because you know that you're always used to hearing what
Hmm.
you want to hear, and that doesn't translate very well into life and a bunch of other
Hmm.
things. So yeah, that's a good point.
That's another thing. Like piggyback off what you said. I think that's just with. I think time is just a good way to tell who's a good friend to you and what a really like real quality friendship is.
Oh
Because
yeah,
uh, yeah, I think over the years we've been friends since like what, like seventh grade almost. So
yeah,
four or
yeah.
five, six, like almost a decade ish. And I think from that time, like you really get to know each other. I mean, we have a kind of a different story because we started off like really young. I'm sure other people have started that way too, but
Yeah.
just in general, like when you're making new friends as well,
Yeah.
like you know,
Yeah.
when I
I
first met my
mean,
publicist, like it was our
oh yeah.
publicist. Uh,
Well, I'm
it
trying
just
to take
started
it.
off. Well, I'm sorry,
I'm
man.
joking.
I'm
I'm joking. I'm
sorry.
joking.
I'm really in the moment. I'm sorry. Well, our publicist, we're really close. I think you guys are really close too. I'd say because just I see the way you guys like interact. I think.
Oh yeah, we've
Uh,
gotten closer, because of all
yeah,
the different Zoom
yeah,
calls we've had and
yeah.
stuff
I'm
like
not
that. Yeah.
calling you out, so
No,
I'm not saying you guys
that was a
aren't
joke. That was a
close.
joke.
I'm not calling you guys out, Sophie. I mean, like, I know you guys are close. I mean, I'm saying is, but you kind of get a sense of, all the things that we're talking about so far. If you really want to see what a good friendship is, just weigh it out and see. Like, don't wait too much in the moment because I mean, like what you were talking about when having a friend that corrects you when you're wrong or being
Mhm.
there, and then you feeling really mad at that person, and then like leaving alone. And in the moment you're like, oh my gosh, he's not my friend. She's not my friend. Like we're totally done. But then after time, when you reflect on what in particular they were saying to you and into what context, and
Yeah.
you kind of let yourself cool off and kind of just like kind of collect yourself a little bit and see what the interaction was about. Then you kind of get to see, okay, well, this person was really we're really like we had this
Yeah.
little thing going on, but then like he or she just
Oh,
really
we
did
need to make
this.
an episode about like anger management issues. That's a good topic. We should do
I think it
that.
would be a good one.
That'd
I
be kind of
think I'd
cool.
have a bit more than you though. Or do you have more anger issues than I?
Well, I would say that in the past I've definitely had more anger, but I just keep it in pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, that's cool. That's why we're here, Adrian.
Yeah.
See, I feel like we have a good balance right now. This is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, but I
Give me
mean,
some.
yeah, you're right about the whole aspect of it doesn't really matter what age. Like we did meet when we were pretty young,
Mm-hmm.
but really, regardless of your age range of when you're finding friends, there are some qualities that just stay the same throughout as far as what a good friend is.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the context of it might change just because of your age, right? So a kid's interest might be, I don't know, Ninjago, and then an adult's interest might be like, I don't know, sport or something. But overall, I think the points that we're going across cover the whole
Mm-hmm.
range of what it is just to be a friend, a good
Mm-hmm.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also say that I don't think this is a quality of a good friend, but just to say to people, I'll get back on that, but I think just to say to people, don't be afraid of losing friends either in the process of finding a good friend,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you can get a little caught up in, perhaps the loss of a friend. And I would definitely say, look at that, analyze, what went wrong and, all that, but to learn from it, obviously. But don't be afraid to lose a few friends along the way in the ultimate goal of finding, an honest, true friend, right? Because if you're not willing to kind of let the loose ends fly away, you're not really going to be able to be truly focused on when you find, your true friend or friends, plural, So I would just say that as like a little side note to not worry too much in the process of finding friends, because like friends come and go, man. I remember in middle school they would tell us, hey, most of the friends that you're with right now won't be your friends in high school, and then most of your friends in high school won't be your friends in college, and that's very true. I remember a lot of us in the classroom were like, oh no, we're all going to be tight forever, right?
That's and we're only friends with like one of them or two of them.
Yeah. So it might be sad at that age, but looking back at it, it's definitely very true, so
yeah, because life happens,
yeah, life happens. And so but that shows you who the real ones are, I think, over time. So as you were saying earlier too.
Yeah,
I just wanted to give that little side note because I thought about it.
Adrian, pulling up with the clutch, Adrian. You're so. Oh, this is another thing. I don't know if should we do intermission now or should we wait a few minutes?
We can do the intermission a little bit early. Why not? If you want.
Yeah, because we started a little bit early too, so.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we'll just head into this intermission, which is it's something, but
I hope you guys like Toy Story.
Yep.
I bought this Buzz Lightyear from you guys, but there's actually a problem with it. It's not what it seems.
Batteries are dead.
To infinity and your ass mama's house.
You hear that?
That line was not in the movie.
I know that was. I
mean,
seen the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Yeah, click it.
Woody, shut your cowboy ass up.
What the heck?
That's what I said. I mean, I've seen the movie many times. He did not use that line in there.
Oh, I know he did.
That doesn't even sound like, what is his name, Tim Allen.
No.
And
I don't
believe
even
me,
know if we know.
I got that from
You
my
might wanna-
son years ago, and it does not say stuff like that.
If I gave this back to you, how much would I
You would
get?
get $3.50 plus tax.
But I paid $50 for this thing.
Can I help
Well, it's
you,
marked
sir?
down. You have your receipt?
No.
Well, I can't go any higher than the receipt.
My grandma ate it.
Welcome back from the intermission, everybody.
Hope you guys like Toy Story. Hope you guys like that intermission. I remember I sent that to a few people, including our publicist.
Oh, what did she say?
I don't know if she didn't say anything about it yet.
Oh, wow.
She said anything about it? No, I don't think so.
I was just like, oh no.
Well, she didn't say anything. I hope you guys liked it. And if you guys have to listen, if you guys are listening to it on Spotify, I guess.
Watch on YouTube.
Watch on YouTube because it's not as cool without visual.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, if you have to listen to it, definitely listen to it. But
Yeah,
for the full
either way,
experience.
go to YouTube.
Isn't it weird
watch
that our podcast, in order to get the full experience, you got to be on YouTube? That's funny.
Well, I mean,
I don't mind
guess,
it. I'm just saying, like most podcasts, it's just listening. And I think I said this in our last episode, where if this was an audio only podcast, it'd be a much different podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Well, yeah, I know. I think. Don't David and Neil, aren't they only on audio?
Yeah, they are only on audio.
Okay. See, so I guess it just depends on your mood. If you like watching something, putting something on the screen, or on the go, check it
I
out.
guess do your thing. Yeah.
Check it out.
But Christian, you were gonna say something before we went to intermission because we went to a little bit
Yes.
earlier this time. So lay it
Okay.
on, dude.
Obviously,
what do you gotta
kinda
say?
we're skipping through a little bit, so I'm just gonna start hitting the main targets
Oh boy.
and the main one. And so, what I think of a
Yes.
good friendship, one that you should really, even if you want to kick it up a notch, above trusting them and having a good time with each other and not being afraid of them telling you straight up.
Yeah, those are kind of the
like,
basics, actually.
Those are the good ones, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just really gonna reemphasize those. But another one that you gotta keep, are the friendships where you can learn something from them, or they have something that you want to learn from. Right. It's kind of like that, saying to surround yourself. Even the Bible says by surrounding yourself with good company, and you end up with who you hang out with.
Yeah, the
and-
Bible is a huge proponent of surrounding yourself with good people, because when you generally hang out with bad people, they rub off on you. You don't really rub off on them. You know? So it's much easier for someone to be corrupted by bad people than for bad people to kind of get some sense from, the sensible person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely that's
surrounding
true.
yourself with good people for sure, or not just people that they have something that you admire, something that you want to learn from them. So uh, I think I'm thinking of a few different examples. The first one I could think of is for sure Adrian. When it comes to Adrian, comes to you. One thing that I really do like about you, and one thing I really had more of, is that why she like well, like that, like oh my gosh, she likes me. One thing I really admire about Adrian is that his he's very well versed with faith, and he has like the like you know the Bible verse that says always be ready for an answer for what you believe or why you believe it.
Oh yeah, and Peter, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Adrian, like this boy, let me tell you guys something. This boy can like recite the whole Bible to you if you wanted to. Like he's just so well versed, but he's just so well versed with
I see what you did there.
His exactly. Yeah, see, I'm serious though. But you like out of everybody that everybody emphasis on that. Everybody, you're the person that knows the most about scripture, the most of how its applications are, and the most about how to apply it in your daily lives and how to think according to what certain chapters say. And it's just, it's very Frank Turek-y. Is that how you say his name?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Turk.
Frank Turek.
Yeah, yeah. So Adrian, like, not gonna lie, like you got like that's something that I really do admire about you. One that I'm learning more of, and even so, before we started this, Adrian and I were talking about God's gender,
which is male.
And honestly, for the longest time, I thought he was a boy. I thought, and I still now. Okay, let me finish the story.
Yeah, I
thought he was like the father, and like so I thought it was, and then these past few days, yesterday morning, I was listening to that Turek dude.
Yeah,
that Turek dude. And he was talking to this blonde kid in what's that thing that you want to live in, Idaho. He was talking to this one in Idaho, and he was like, "Oh, what do you think of God's gender?" And then, because I was like so sound on like the father thing, and then Frank Turek was like, he had this whole other opinion. He was like, "Well, first off, let's start about what it means, like gender, blah blah blah." And then he's like talking about like a bunch of like faith things, and then it came to the conclusion of, but like exactly what you said, was fathers presented as male, and then the little boy was like the blonde hair is like, okay, so blah 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 blah. And then just in the end, though, like to sum it all up, it ended off with him saying it was very abstract, which is very confusing to me because he was like, oh, the faith, or not the faith. He said something about the spirit, and I was telling you about this.
Yeah.
The spirit was presented as a female, and then I was thinking, oh my, wait, like what? So
yeah, that's really confusing if he ended it on that.
Yeah. And I was like, what the heck? So these past few days, except for kind of today, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was thinking that just shows like how much I don't know about like scripture, when I thought like, oh my gosh, I thought it was so sound that the father was
well, I mean, you were right. I mean, it is sound. He is the whole idea that God is female really comes from the postmodernist idea that of, obviously you see it more nowadays than anything, but the whole gender fluidity thing.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where the idea of God being this like kind of gender fluid person doesn't come from scripture. Just for anyone wondering, it comes from the modern influence that oftentimes kind of gets pushed on it, you know? Mm-hmm. So, because obviously a lot of people and a lot of their religions try and adapt to certain cultural norms, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it's definitely a present thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like especially what you said for Frank Turek and all that, like ending it on that.
For real,
I would be confused too. I'd be like, "What are you saying, dude?"
Like, I've been listening to like the Beat by Alan Pilot and Frank Turek, and then he ended off.
I listened to the Beat too.
Alan Pilot, that guy. Yeah. And then I was listening to Frank Turek, and then like the whole the ghost, and then he's like, yeah, it was very weird. Like I ended off like with questions. I was like, oh my gosh! Like,
but it's that's the thing. It's good to question. It's good to question. You know, I mean, that's an important part of faith, because how are you gonna get the answers if you don't ask questions?
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's the thing. So then, even before this, I was like, oh my gosh, Adrian! Like I was so sound. Like, dude, I can't believe this. Just shows how like unversed I am. And then, thank God, like Adrian now like set me straight. He was like, so that's the thing we were talking about earlier with having people that like set you straight with like, when it comes to like steering you off. Because imagine, because you send me a lot of stuff by that guy. So I was like, okay, this is good, Adrian. Then I'm sticking by. And if I don't understand it, then my world is going crazy, man. So, and then
no, but no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right. And then literally just like set me straight, and it made sense again. So I don't know why it ended off like weird, but then again, like thank God it didn't last for too long, because literally that was like yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, but like I know what you mean. I hate that feeling of being like, wait, have what I've been thinking, is it wrong? You know, I don't.
Yeah,
that's an awful feeling. So I
like,
totally feel you.
Father. Now he's
Father.
like, now he's like,
It's like mother. You know,
mother, mommy,
you know, whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's I agree with you there, and that's. But again, like kind of back to the point, like it's all at like I cannot express to you how much care I have. Like Christian to me is like an older brother that I never had. So
he has to babysit.
Christian, yeah. But you know, like Christian, when I was growing up, Christian was my idol. Like I wanted to be him. And so being able to kind of offer him something and offer him knowledge, that brings me a lot of joy knowing that I can help him, because I know that he helped me in so many ways, you know? Because like for me, on an honest note, I like Christian changed me for the better as I was growing up, because I didn't have many friends who were very accepting of me in multiple regards. So Christian was completely open. He's still like this to everybody pretty much. He's very open to, you know, bringing you into his circle. Like even if he has no idea who you are, he'll just grab you and bring you to the lunch table and say, sit with us, you know, like that's Christian's, that's, well, I mean, we sat on the floor, but you know, that's besides the point. But you know, Christian, he's very much so like that, you know? And so to be able to help someone who's helped you, you know, that just, I think that dynamic is really good dynamic, because you know, like we said, you're gaining from one another, you know, it's this upward ladder that you're both kind of climbing at the same time, you know, instead of down. So yeah, I would say that.
Man, see, that's the thing. See, you guys are seeing it right now. You guys are seeing the magic happen right
the magic.
Well, that's the thing, guys. And
we break down on the Art of Awesomeness podcast. It just opens with us like just
That's the thing, guys. And that's the other thing from learning out of like 20 years from this friendship.
20 years.
Was after time, I think you know a good friendship if you haven't gotten all the science. If you could trust them, you have a good time with them, they set you straight, they got something that you like that you can learn from, they build you up and let you know something's real. That's the other thing, is like when you guys can just get to a point now where you can just be like really transparent with one another, and just like let them know straight up. Because I mean, especially think about like after all this time, hopefully like when they know you really well, like, they know you really well, and you feel like you can let your guard down a little bit because they know like the real you after peeling layer by layer.
Right.
There comes a point where, I mean, it's all in the response too, when you can be honest and like transparent with them, when like let them know like when something's up, and you don't have to hide like behind a mask anymore, and then their reaction being depending on how it is with. Now I'm thinking about it in my head right now. I'm totally spacing out. A good friend, when you can be honest with them and they reach out and they're there for you.
I was afraid you were just going to say, I forgot the past 15 minutes of what just happened.
No, I was thinking about that the other day. I can't believe Sophie was telling me that. We were talking about that. I have no idea what happened, man. I'm not even wearing the glasses right now.
Yeah, dude, that episode. I was thinking about that the other day. I actually watched it. I was like, what went wrong? What happened?
Was I acting different though?
Okay, so in the moment, I did not notice anything different. I thought, because during the podcast, I think sometimes we act a little maybe like boosted or eccentric because we want it to be interesting. So we kind of I don't know what's the word. We just act more eccentric, I think, than we might normally. You know, and we're pretty crazy people, but like you know. I thought that you were just kind of putting on like an act, kind of be funny, because you had the sunglasses on and everything, right? So I thought, you know, you were just kind of getting in the moment and just, you know, trying to be funny. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll play along with it. Cool, right? But but I couldn't see your eyes. So when I watched it back, I was like, hold on, because I watched the previous clip, because we record them. Sorry, when we record them in person, we record them in clips. I looked at the first one. I was like, okay, he's normal here. And then right when he gets the sunglasses on, it's just a downward thing. I was like, what happened?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what it was. I wasn't like sleeping or anything, because I can't do that when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, but But it was just so weird to me when I was like, yeah, you remember when you said that? I think it was something about like in China with like these chocolate fountains or something. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what. And then you're like, what? You know, you're like, what do you
But
mean?
I'm sure when you heard that, you were like, "Are you kidding with me right now?" Because I'm sure that never happened.
Yeah. But I mean, but when I asked you about it after we had recorded, you were like, what are you talking about? I said, what do you mean, dude? And then we
you're
watched
good.
back the footage, and you were like, what? Yes, it
And
was
what was your reaction to that? For those of you who don't know, what episode was this?
I can check real quick so we can see.
For those of you that haven't listened to it,
It was episode 38, Would You Rather, part 2.
yeah. Okay, I thought it was a part 2.
Yeah.
I was for a second part of the podcast. I wore these really cool sunglasses, and I was like in this weird trance. So check it out if you just want to know what we're talking about. But I'm sure you were probably thinking like, "Oh, is this guy serious or not?"
You know, because I already knew that you were kind of in character because you had the sunglasses on and all that stuff, and so I thought that you were just kind of doing your thing, and so I didn't think anything of it until afterwards when you seemed confused. I was just like, how, you just said that, and then you were like, no, I didn't, So
I think we've been friends long enough for you can tell when I'm serious versus when I'm not serious. And
yeah, I can tell.
That was
like an exception. That was one time where I just could not for the life of me tell whether you were being serious or not, and I just
so out of it.
So that's off topic, but that's a funny story though. I'm glad we talked about that.
And that's another thing. You guys can tell funny stories.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, the thing about good friends you can tell, you always look back at things that technically went wrong, but you laugh at them anyways. It's like everything bad that ever happened to you is funny now.
Kimball, the track incident.
Yeah, actually, I still get sad.
Peeing under the bed at science camp.
Oh wait, no, you did tell me about this. Okay, yeah, you did.
God. Oh god. Yeah. So, parents getting divorced. All that stuff.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Whoa. We're gonna back up for a second.
Okay.
Rewind.
Well, that's what Adrian's.
Everybody,
I'm re-emphasizing what Adrian said.
Yeah.
You look back on that stuff.
Yeah, you do. You do.
We know.
I like how it's like qualities of a good friend. It's like my parents got divorced. It's. This is what it is.
So Adrian, good qualities.
Yeah, those are good qualities. I agree. I think. Do you have any more? Because I had a few more.
You go first. I feel like I've been hogging all the limelight.
Okay. So one of them, I think we kind of touched on it, but they help you reach your goals. Like if you have a goal, they'll kind of support you and help you in reaching that. Because if you have a common interest, they're probably going to support your goals. So like if Christian was like, hey man, I need help for a video, it might not be my video, but I don't care because it's his thing and it's his goal to make this video. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll help, right? And so, or if I was like, hey man, I need help with this, I don't know, writing something, I'm having like some writer's block for a script idea. Can you send me some ideas kind of a thing? It's not Christian's script, but he would probably send me a bunch of ideas just because, we want to help each other reach our common goals sort of a thing. So I would say this may not be a huge thing, but it's definitely one of those more lukewarm ones where they're going to help you to get to where you need to go and you'll help them to where they need to go kind of a thing.
Build on each other.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to that mutual exchange thing of just, being there and helping each other out. And then the other last thing that I had on my list was that they work hard, because if they work hard, then, that teaches you a lot of, important things. And
that's one of the key characteristics, right?
Yeah, it's a good characteristic to have, as being a hard worker in any area of your life, because then that they really care about something. When they're working hard at it, it's like, oh, this person actually has intent and care in the things that they do. So they're probably going to put that into a friendship, or something like that. But those are my last 2 points that I'd written down.
Yeah, hardworking. That's a hard thing to come by these days. So.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Hard work
is like, I wish we had more workers at my job. Anyways, but yeah.
Oh, that's another thing.
Oh yeah.
You can celebrate each other. Celebrate. Oh, a good friend. Here's you guys.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Christian's been struck by genius.
A good friend is someone that celebrates your achievements with you.
Oh yeah.
Also not expecting anything in return, just for the mere sake of being friends. Celebrating each other's accomplishments.
Yeah. No, that's definitely part of it. I mean, I think, when you help them reach your goals, if they're not your goals at the end of the day, right? They're there. So it's like, if you really care about the individual, you care about their victories, you care about their celebrations. I think that's just part of, just being a good friend, just being there and propping the other person up, is a nice thing. So yeah, I think those are some solid points,
we
man.
got some good ones, man.
Yeah, we did. We got what you would call some gems. So
we made some sandwiches.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie, for the recommendation. This was Sophie's idea, right?
It was Sophie's idea.
Okay, so
and she just responded saying that it's a great prank idea.
It is a great prank. I actually, when Christian, they already saw the intermission at this point, so Christian sent me this video earlier before we started, and when we first hopped on, I told him I could definitely see you doing that. I could definitely see Christian.
I want to do that.
Would you do it the same way though, or would you get something else and do a twist on it?
Like someone else saying something else?
Yeah, or a different toy from a different show or something, or would you want it to be pretty similar to
I feel like what's really good about that prank is it's so predictable. Like when you hear Woody, when you see Woody, you think there's a snake in my boot. There's just these characters with signature sayings,
right?
And they're so innocent too because they're from kids movies,
right?
So I feel that's so perfect because it's so unexpected, right?
Yeah, it's subvert your expectations.
And I don't think you can get any better than that unless you add some ideas that aren't suitable for this audience. But
what?
I think that's a great idea to do the Buzz Lightyear one. If you guys haven't seen the intermission, which hopefully you have, you don't just skip around.
Actually, if you guys want to see Christian do that prank,
I would love to. I want to know how to. Honestly, if I had a Buzz Lightyear,
how would you do that? Actually,
I don't know. You're the tech genius.
I am. Oh shoot. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess they do have voice boxes that you can do pre-recordings on, and so I guess that's how you do it. But you'd have to also wire it with the button so that when you press the button, it goes to that sound. So that'd be a lot of YouTube video watching, but we could probably get that done. I'm not gonna lie.
Laughing. I couldn't keep a straight face.
No, but would it be funny if you recorded your own voice? So it's there. So it's you're standing right there, and then they're hearing your voice from this Buzz Lightyear thing, and it's just saying the most vulgar things possible, just the worst possible thing you could say.
The third quality of a good friend is that they have traits that really make you bust a laugh.
Bust a laugh. Oh yeah, I was sending Christian these edits the other day. Is that what you're thinking of? I was sending Christian these edits. I can't for the life of me put them on this podcast because there are children watching, but it was the funniest thing, and I would show them to him, and I would just fill this image with the most random things. I would have Daisy Ridley, Christian looking shocked, LeBron James in the corner. I mean, I just had everything. And oh god, was it glorious?
I'm looking at it right now, Adrian.
Oh, you have it?
I'm looking at it right now, Adrian. I think it was last week or something. We were hanging out.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? There's some I can probably put on screen. The last two. You see the last two?
Okay, yeah, I know. I see it.
I could probably, but I think on one I put Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, look at that one.
Morgan Freeman. I had Sophie just kind of looking disappointed in the corner.
Yeah.
There's the American flag.
The thing. If a good friend, this is just one of those other bonus things. They can really make you laugh. It's so weird. You guys just spend hours on end just doing random stuff.
Yeah, I think I spammed Christian these for over the course of a few hours, where he was just playing a game in the background. I was just making these. How tired was I, dude? I don't remember putting half of this stuff in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. For those who are listening right now, I mean,
You know what I could do? I'll show them a few parts of it, but I can't show the whole thing.
right.
So they can get an idea. But I don't remember putting Morgan Freeman at all.
Well, I mean, you're a night owl, so I'm surprised that you don't remember that because that stuff is
Yeah.
natural to you. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
I'm so disappointed at us right now.
for those that are
these
listening, I mean, Adrian's just got a certain quality about him that just, gosh dang it, Adrian, I don't know how to say it, but you certainly put more air in my lungs that I can expel.
So size?
In a hearty manner.
I don't know what that means. But yeah, I guess same. I don't know.
So what's your favorite component of a good friend?
My favorite component would probably be that's a good one. I guess I don't know if this is a quality, but a friend that feels like family, I think, is one of the best ones to me.
Ooh, friend that sticks closer than a brother, man.
Yeah, that. So I think that if you have a friend and they to you are comparable to that of family, that's probably a very good sign.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. So
that's good, friend.
Yeah.
Man, you're just hitting all the good things today, huh?
Bro, I'm tired, man. That's just what happens, dude.
Yeah, I gotta make you tired more often. Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't it?
It does, actually. That sounds really bad.
Well, that's another thing. Part of a good friendship is you guys can basically say whatever you guys want to each other, and you don't have to worry about it sounding homo or heterosexual.
Yeah, sure. Wasn't there this one thing that you reacted to on your TikTok? It was like a girl was like, "Why do guys act so gay in front of the boys?" And then the guy was like, "Why do we act so straight in front of the girls?" And then it was like, I was like, "What?" But that was funny. I don't know.
That's true though.
Yeah. Nick is or Jacob, either one of those guys.
Yeah.
They'll act that way sometimes.
Oh,
it's
they
funny.
yeah, Jacob especially. So
like we were texting in the group
Jacob?
chat, he was like, yes. He was like, okay, daddy. I was like, what? But
But see, like with him, like it's Jacob. It's so natural.
Yeah, it really is. I think that was the point of the video, but yeah, that was
the best part.
That was funny.
Man, this was a great topic, man.
It's a good topic. Thank you, Sophie, for the recommendation. We had fun with this one.
Are
there any points that we have left on good friends, or any stories that we have left, or do you think that what we covered is pretty solid?
No,
as of now.
I think
I like the points that we gave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I only have like 5 things on my Google Keep right now.
Have you said them yet? Or
I said them.
Oh, okay.
I said them and I tied them together, like having fun one, like the variation of like building on each other.
Oh yeah.
Doing all that. So.
Got it. But yeah, if you have it would have been nice if this was aired on like National Best Friends Day or something, or Good Friend Day.
Yeah, cool. It's just Lemon Meringue Day.
Yeah, Relaxation Day, Leathercraft Day. Actually, Leathercraft is pretty cool. Anyways, but yeah, there you go. That's I think all that we have to cover for the topic of qualities of a good friend, and we were able to get some good stories in between there. So I think that's a pretty solid knock at it.
I think that's solid. I think this was a good one.
I think this is another good one. A nice another one. Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to start off the season strong like that. I think that was a good topic, and I'm glad that we had some good points on that. And so with all of that being said, we do of course have the verse of the day.
Yes.
So
here we go.
Ching ching.
Proverbs 18:24. Man that hath friends must shew himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a Beretta.
It sounded like you said Beretta.
But
yeah, that's very true.
What that means, Adrian? What what does that basically mean, Adrian?
It was basic. It's a pretty straightforward verse, but it's a really meaningful one, and that is basically that there are some friends in your life that do truly stick closer than family. You know, they are comparable to that. You know, like I was saying earlier, I see Christian as that kind of older brother figure, right? And so, you know, Christian to me is a brother. Like that's how I view him. We just don't live in the same house. That's the only difference I see, pretty much. So, like, that's to me the whole point of that verse is that there are some friends that to you can be as family, and I think that's a good thing in the Bible. That's a very good thing to have that camaraderie of family and friends, because there's that one verse that you really like is that, you know, a man should basically just spend time with his family, because if he doesn't, you know, that's an awful thing, you know.
That's worse than someone who doesn't believe in God.
Yeah, so I mean,
honey,
it's an important thing. Aunt Jemima, what the heck?
Oh, they got rid of Aunt Jemima
already?
Yeah, you don't know, because
Bastards.
they had ties with like slavery.
But
it's something else now. It's called the Pearl Mill Company.
No, you're kidding me.
Oh, search it up.
I'm searching it up right now. No,
the Pearl Mill Company. Yeah, my client's house. I saw that they have this syrup, and it said, it's like Aunt Jemima, new name, same great taste.
Wow.
It literally said that on the front with the minus the actual Aunt Jemima. So,
oh my gosh,
you know,
that's so sad. Well, okay. Aunt Jemima, rest in peace. You were a good entrepreneur in your time, but
you were sweet, and I like putting you on my pancakes.
Oh wow! This is why this is not for kids. This is why this is going on explicit.
We're talking about syrup, and she was sweet, and I like to put it on my tongue and make it sticky. Okay.
It was so wholesome up until that point.
You ruined it.
Okay, well. There you go, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, because it's our podcast. We're the hosts.
It's cool.
It's crazy, dude.
Should do this more often.
Yeah, man.
Which we will, because it's our third freaking season, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We look forward to the rest of the season, which is going to be 21 more episodes now of this season.
Wow, it's already almost over, bro.
They go by really fast, man. They really do.
Man, before you know, it's gonna be season 4.
Dude, season 4 is. I feel like that's the point in college where we're just done with life. You know what I mean?
Season 4 is gonna be our worst season, but season 5 will be our best.
Yeah, so it's like
pretty good.
Just predicting it right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Dang it, setting us up for failure.
That's fun.
Oh, well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Art of Awesomeness podcast. This is episode 45. And yeah, I checked myself real quick. Yeah, it is 45.
Episode 45. Well, thank you guys for listening so much.
Thank you so much. Make sure to, because this is the first episode of the new season, let's just get some stuff out of the way. We always have the website. That will always be in the description of this video. So check out the website. You can. There's a directory on that website of all of our Art of Awesomeness podcast videos. We have the Bible's Way to Heaven. We have a bunch of cool different tabs and contact info on that website that you can check out. We also have, of course, our Instagrams, Christian's Instagram, my Instagram, and Sophie's Instagram. If you ever want to reach out to any of us, we have our own Art of Awesomeness specific Instagram that's for this channel. AOA. We, of course, have the AOA Clips channel where we post clips from full episodes, excerpts. So if you don't want to watch the full episode, you can get little snippets that are kind of bite-sized specific topics that are covered. And yeah, make sure to check out the Art of Awesomeness on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts. We're pretty much everywhere. And of course, YouTube. And I think I've just plugged just about anything that we have, right? Everything. Am I missing anything?
Adrian. No, never mind. Nothing. Nothing.
No, okay.
No, you didn't. You didn't miss anything.
Dang it. Now I feel like I did, but okay.
No. Trust me, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, fine. I take your word for it. Man, you're really untrustworthy right now. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'll tell you
freaking
after.
me out, dude.
I'll tell you after.
All right, fine. But yeah, dudes, thank you for watching the Art of Awesomeness podcast, episode 45. This is Adrian Kiswani and Christian Caito.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you guys the next episode. Take care.
Episode 46. Okay.